Do I need to move something that we start the meeting? Oh, we're good. Okay. Hi, Erin. It's been a long time. Nice to see you.
Hi, Erin.
I've been missing you. I have several things to tell you about.
I have so many thoughts for you also.
I've been missing you. And then another girl who I don't know came and took our picture. I'm like, has something happened to Erin before? Has she left us before I had the chance to ask her all my questions and get her thoughts? Hi, Phil.
Phil. Hi, Phil.
Hi.
Now, Erin is back, and the lady who was at your last board meeting is Ashley, who is one of Erin's staff.
Nice. She's lovely.
She's the mystery symbol logo.
Another Bobby.
Oh.
So the mystery logo on there, there's the one that's the FCPL is Bobby, my admin assistant, just to record the meeting and take minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you all have a
Bob.
couple of things on your agenda today. Sujatha, do you want me to start with your speaker invite to Dr. Reed?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So at your last special committee meeting, at the end of that meeting, there was a discussion about having Sujatha and Priscilla draft and send an invitation to Dr. Reed's office to come to a future library board meeting, particularly the May meeting, if she was able to, as that is the one where you have your scholarship award celebration, which seemed really appropriate. So an invitation went out, I think it was the day of your last board meeting, so 2 weeks ago now. We have not heard back yet. And so I will be sending a follow-up today and double checking to make sure we didn't accidentally misspell the email address or something like that. But I did want to let this committee know that the invitation has been sent and staff are going to follow up on your behalf just to see where that might be in the queue.
Would you like me to bring it up to her tomorrow when I see her at strategic planning?
Absolutely.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I will do that. Tomorrow I will see her at Willow Oaks and I will bring it up.
Okay.
Hi, Sue.
Hi
And
there,
then-
how are you? Sorry.
Good to see you. And then the next item on your agenda is a review of your spring 2023 talking points. So I'm going to share my screen and then increase. Okay, is that font size okay for everyone? Okay.
Plenty good. Plenty good.
Excellent. So there are 3 items on your talking points for this spring, and I already have an update to one of them, but I didn't want to send it around in advance of your committee meeting. And the first one is about the Kingstown Regional Library. So as you saw from prior email on this topic, the groundbreaking for the new Franconia Government Center and Kingstown Regional Library, which is the current name for that site, is scheduled for March 9th. 2023. So we actually have a date now. We also have a rain date, which is 2 weeks out from then. And the event is in the afternoon. It's either at 1 or 2 o'clock. It is not meant to be like a big shindig. Some of the prior groundbreakings we've done, we have a lot more space. It's not an active construction site yet. And so it's an open invitation to the community and to the full board and to really anyone who's interested. This event is meant more to be a press event. So because the site is already partially under construction, there have been earth movers on site and the dirt is being flattened. We can't really have a large amount of folks there. And because there is limited parking, we didn't want to have folks crossing pretty busy roads to get over there. So the intention of this from our elected officials is that it will be mostly a press event to share the dedication of the space and the movement forward. Trustees Fox and Russell and Engler have been invited, representing your board chair and both Franconia and Mount Vernon district, because the Kingstown Library currently sits in Mount Vernon, but will sit in Franconia at its new location. The bullets here are pretty brief, but they're meant to just share kind of the basics of the information, including the fact that we're going to continue to operate the current Kingstown site out of its leased space until the new site is developed. We don't have to move anywhere. We don't have to do anything until we get much closer to the date there, because we're in a good spot where we're at right now. And the construction is slated to take about 2 years. So at this point, we've been very loosely saying summer 2025 is likely when the site will be open. And as you all have heard me talk about before, this is a really interesting location. for years and years and years, decades, really, there's been a big sign on the site that said future home of the Kingstown Regional Library. I think Suzanne and Fran probably know that quite well, having been FCPL employees as well. But this new site is going to co-locate 6 different county functions. It will have the new regional library as well as the Center for Active Adults, which is currently right next door to the leased library space. It will have the new Franconia District Office, the Franconia Police Station, local history museum, and a county-run child care center. So we dipped our toe into the co-location pool with the Lorton Library and Lorton Community Center and Lorton Park to really get some best practices developed. And this will be a much upscaled version of that. Not only does it have all of these functions that are in a shared space, it's also going to have a shared parking garage, half of which will be open for the public and half of which will be available only as secure police parking. So we're very grateful that the original Lorton site happened first so that we could kind of test out and see how it works and take those best practices into the new process. But that's the basics for Kingstown. Is there anything else you all would like me to add or edit or take out of this section?
Co-located should be co-locate, I think.
Right.
It's underlined there, yeah. And
Yeah.
also question, will the entrance to the police station like be away from the entrance to the library?
That's a great question. So there's a couple of options to enter the facility. If I were somebody driving in, I think I would probably park on the second floor and then enter the library suite off of the second floor. You can enter directly to the library from the parking garage. You can also enter from the main entrance point where there's a shared lobby, and then you can walk up a staircase to get to the library. Is
there an elevator too?
Yes, there's always an elevator.
Well,
Sadness of the elevator.
when
Yes,
your knees
necessary.
get old, staircases can be difficult.
No, the elevator is absolutely necessary. I only
Right.
make a slight sigh because every elevator that we have in our library system is consistently breaking. So
No more Tyson Krupp elevators.
I cannot speak to that. My request is that people don't jam walnuts into the gap between the elevator and the door in order to prop it open.
Oh, gee.
Yes, that is an actual thing that happened many, many times. Keith, I see your hand up. Hello.
Yes, hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and sorry for being late. I had a question. What is the actual name of this facility? I know it's the Franconia District Office, Kingstown Regional Library. Is the facility called something?
That is another great question. So currently, the facility is called the Franconia Governmental Center and Kingstown Regional Library.
Oh, okay, perfectly like it was written there. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, no, but that was a good entry point, right? So it's written like that. However, it certainly could change. I think some of you might recall that as we proceeded with the Lorton facility, there was some question mark around the name for that facility. It had originally been the Lorton Library because it was just us there. And then it was the Lorton Library and Lorton Community Center. And then it was Lorton Community Center and Library. And, it's the fussing around with words. So personally, I would anticipate that the name of this facility is probably going to change at some point. I don't know what it might be. Maybe it will just be the Franconia Governmental Center, and then individual agencies will identify themselves underneath that, just so that it's easier for folks, because there's so many functions there. But that's my guess, at least.
10-4, thank you.
Yeah.
Jessica, any chance we could name it the Keith Fox Library?
I can pitch as hard as you all would like. You all as a board would have to make that decision and be willing to pay the money to change all the names on stuff. Maybe we could just have a room. Keith, pick your room out when we get it. At some point, as we get a little further in, I'm going to see if I can find, I didn't queue it up in advance. We actually have a very small video clip of what we anticipate the interior is going to look like. And I'll play that when I find it later, just so you have that available as well. It's not generally publicly available yet, but it is certainly pretty interesting just to see the general flow of what you can anticipate when we open that facility. Any additional items you'd like me to tag in there or modify? Okay. The second set of talking points is one that should be pretty well and familiar to you. It's about our launch pads. You all got an update in this at either your January or your February board meeting, but at this point, we really want you to help us spread the word. The collections have officially launched. As you know, we have 36 of the pads available at every full service location, not including access services in the Virginia room. There are a couple of different variations of them, and I included the link to the LibGuides in there, which have more details about what is in them and the age ranges that they're appropriate for. But now that they're officially launched, we really want to start marketing them a little bit more. We did a soft launch at first just to make sure that they worked really well and that people weren't going to immediately snag them off the shelves. I've been to several branches since they've launched, and generally they're about half checked out, which is good, but we want them all to go out and be in people's houses. So we would love your assistance in kind of getting that word around for you. Yes. So I'm happy to add or change or edit anything you'd like in here. Great, no edits, got it. Moving on. Your last set of talking points is the lengthiest part, and I wanted to give you a little bit of extra information around some of these. We have a ton of fabulous author events coming up, and we've been trying lately to really promote some of the both in-person and virtual author events that we have as more of a series because we have so many of them ongoing. So I tried to include all of the ones here that were ready to go and already available in LibCal so that you could share the information. So the first one, Fred Kaplan, is he's a war journalist and a war correspondent. He won a Pulitzer for his journalistic work covering a war that I do not recall right now, but he's speaking specifically to a book that he wrote called The Masterly Pen. This one is in person in April at the Burke Library. Then early May, we have Rosemary Wells. For those of you who have children or grandchildren anywhere in your background, Rosemary Wells is the author of the Max and Ruby books, which were also converted to a TV show series. This one's in person at POHIC, and we're anticipating lots and lots of happy kiddos at this event. So kind of share the word about that. I'm going to hop down a bullet and share a little bit about Eric Litwin. We had Eric Litwin visit us last year, I think, as well, also as part of our summer reading program. He's the author of the Pete the Cat children's books. So Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, Pete the Cat, Rides a School Bus, and a couple of other ones. They're books that also have a very musical theme to them. They're delightful, and that will be as part of our summer reading series. We're anticipating a much bigger crowd, so that will be here at the Government Center in the board auditorium where the Board of Supervisors usually meets. And then if I pop back up one bullet, we have author Jocelyn Jackson and author Lydia Netzer. Jocelyn is the author of a couple different mystery books, but in particular, she'll be speaking about her newest title, With My Little Eye. And she's going to be moderated by another author, Ms. Netzer, who just released How to Tell Toledo from the Night Sky. POHIC has been extra popular lately as a destination for some of our author visits. We've got a good meeting room space there, and she is coming to visit in May. I anticipate I will have information for you in about 2 weeks on our Fall for the Book Spring headliner. I don't have that one yet, and we also don't do the reservation process for those. Those are managed through Fall for the Book and typically Eventbrite, but I am aware of who the author for this is going to be, and I think you all will be very excited about it. It's a pretty exciting one. So get ready for some extra jazz, and I'll update this as soon as that one becomes confirmed.
That's not even fair, Jessica.
I know. Well, it's called a teaser so that you're really excited about it. And you're like, oh, Jessica, tell me more about this amazing author that you can't tell me anything about yet. I double checked on Fall for the Book's website this morning just to make sure that it hadn't been confirmed. I just didn't know it, but it hadn't. So not yet. I cannot share things that are not contractually bound. So that one, That won't be a good one. So those are the author events that we have confirmed coming up through the spring, as well as the summer reading one. We'll probably have a few more smaller or local author events as well, but these were kind of the hot topic ones that we would love your help publicizing. While I've included the LibCal links on here, I did not all of them are available for open registration yet. So like the Fred Kaplan one is the one that is coming up the soonest. And that one is not open for registration until April 4th. So we've got, about a month before some of these start opening up and plenty of time to promote them after they do open up. Does anyone have any questions or things you'd like me to add or edit?
Jessica, do we know the kickoff date for Fall for the Book?
Fall for the Book. So Fall for the Book is in the fall. So our FCPL participates in Fall for the Book, but for the last couple of years, we have shifted our author event to be a spring headliner.
Okay.
Specifically so that it's a little bit separate. Right now, I think they're looking at late April for an author event, maybe late April or early May, but it is not confirmed yet.
I'm going on vacation. I just don't want to miss the super duper author.
The super secret author. Yeah, I was pretty upset too. I am actually on vacation both of the weeks that they're anticipating trying to schedule this for. So I don't get to do the introduction, which makes me sad face, but
And
Yeah.
I'll be in Chicago for Pete the Cat, so I can't bring Charlotte, who loves Pete the Cat.
yes. Well, and you will likely have noticed that all of the ones that we have listed here are in person. We are trying to, where it's appropriate, transition back to in-person author events because it's so nice to be able to come and meet some of your favorite authors and to see them and be in that engaging space where, it's not just those little squares on a box that sometimes it just doesn't feel as in the moment when you're kind of fangirling or fanboying about your favorite authors that are out there.
Will it be in the auditorium at the government center?
It will be in the board auditorium. Yes, that is the plan. We had done that a couple of years in the past and it has worked out pretty well. And it's not on a day when anything big is happening there. Erin sent me a very nice edit that I will make to the Kaplan blurb. There's just a brief update on there. We're going to fix that part for you, but the timing and the engagement with the event doesn't change for that. And I'm going to pull up that video link for Kingstown. So you can watch that as well. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again in just a moment while that's coming up. Okay, can everyone see the kind of thicky doors there? Okay.
It's so exciting.
We're going to Kingstown.
I love these. Oh, it's like Epcot.
Oh my, museum, library.
That's Keith. See Keith?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gorge.
My question is, how high are those barriers? The clear barriers on the, up there on the library level.
Sure.
Having seen children try to climb on chairs and climb over the wall in the Virginia room, that always concerns me, Jessica.
Yes, so a little bit of background on that. That is just a rendering, right? So you're not going to see all the details of the furniture or some of the pieces that will be in the final products. But when you first zoomed in, what you saw was the main public entrance, not through the parking garage. So when it did that fast sweep that led you to the staircase that went up to the library, and you saw some art on the side, and Sujatha found a Keith character wandering around, that scooted you right past the Franconia district office. It scooted you past the Franconia police doors, is Scootergy past the museum, and then around the further corner was the Center for Active Adults. But the stairs going up just lead to the library. So the library is just on the second floor there. You have an entrance from the garage deck on the second floor. You have an entrance from the stairs going up, and we have shared feedback about the partition, making sure that that is not achievable.
Climbable.
Yes, it is not climbable.
I once watched a child climb on the chair. The father was oblivious. And I thought, oh my God, that child's gonna die.
Yeah, no, we're
So I'm-
keeping an eye on that.
Good.
Those pieces are all something we were paying attention to as well.
Will the book
facilities are
drops be
beautiful.
on the second level of the parking garage?
They will indeed. As well as an interior one, yes.
Uh-huh, wonderful.
Yeah,
As well as the, what did you say? As well as the what?
as well as in the facility.
In the-
So there'll be a book drop in the second floor garage that staff can easily access, and then in the library too. So that is not broadly shared yet, although this is a public meeting, so it is broadly shared now. And it shouldn't, the renderings shouldn't change much at all at this point. The construction documents have been issued, construction is about to begin, so that should give you a pretty clear expectation of what to see from that new facility, although furniture might move and colors might be a little different.
That looks fabulous.
I know, we're so
does.
excited.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Jessica,
Exciting place.
Jessica, I have a question about book drops. You know, the one at Fairfax City is set up directionally, so you drop the books in from the passenger side of the car. But 90% of the time, the driver is the one dropping the books into the book drop.
Correct.
Is that something you have to do, or can it be rearranged so that the driver can easily drop off the book on the book drop?
Are you
What I
asking
see
me
at Fairfax is people just go the wrong way and drop the book off.
Are you asking me if we can change the location of the book drop at Fairfax?
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, all you'd need to do is change,
Yeah,
you'd have to make a one-way street or something, but
While there is nothing in our library design manual that specifies which arm is sticking out of a window to drop off a
Right.
book in a book drop, we do typically try and ensure that it is off the driver's side.
great, great. We
Typically.
weren't, it was a new thing at Fairfax, so,
Fairfax's parking structure is a little special.
yeah,
Yes.
unique.
Unique indeed. Well, I will make that minor edit to the language in the Kaplan event, and I will update the date on the Kingstown groundbreaking, and I will send that back around to you all. But other than that, your document is edited and ready to go.
Great. There was an article in one of the connections that made it sound like the groundbreaking had already happened. I picked it up and there was a big article with pictures and
Well, I mean, to be fair, the ground has definitely
Has
been broken.
broken.
There are dirt movers on site, but the
Yeah.
official, everybody gets a shiny shovel and cuts a ribbon part has not happened yet. They will make a trench with a pile of dirt in front of it and we will all stick a shovel in it. That has yet to come.
well, Keith, you'll do us proud at the groundbreaking.
Yeah, certainly, I'm looking forward to it. So Jessica, the instruction, the action item from this meeting is to make sure we share these outreach notes with our
Supervisor.
newsletters, our supervisors' newsletters. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I will get that out minutes after this meeting ends. Some of them might be a little bit longer time frame, like the author events, because you can't really, you can share it, but you can't sign up yet. So some of those might be a little further into spring, but both the launch pads and the Kingstown information are ready to go.
All right, sounds good.
Excellent. That's all I got for you.
Yeah. 25-minute meeting.
So Sujata, you can adjourn the meeting if you'd like, unless anyone else has
Um,
anything they'd like to add.
Anybody else have anything else they want to?
Oh, I do. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Let's see, everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
I'm here to urge you to reach out and identify and recruit advocates. So getting the word out about your own committee stuff, but it's budget time. The budget kickoff this morning, the presentation and the announcement, which you saw in your email, and Jessica's incredible notes were great. And plus the dates of the local town hall budget meetings, which would be really good to attend if you can.
April 11th and 13th, is that right? Or
Each-
13th?
For the big one, yeah, but each
Individual ones.
your
Oh,
email, you'll see like your own district ones, which is good. And I have a question about that. I know Phil raised the issue of storage space for the Friends. And it's something that I was gonna talk to George Friends about, but I just haven't had a chance. And I wonder if that's something for Friends to go to their local town hall and bring the issue up with the supervisor, because it's something that my understanding is that library, we can't really do anything about adding to storage space for the Friends, and the storage space that used to be available in the county warehouse disappeared because of storing voter machines and other stuff like that. And so it has been, and it is a big issue. But that's my question, is urging Friends to go to their local town hall. Is that appropriate, Jessica? For us?
Sure. So there were a couple of questions in there and I'll address all of them. I also put in the chat a very unformatted, my apologies, version of the fiscal year 24 budget town halls. So to Keith's point, the countywide public budget hearings, which are held at the Fairfax County Government Center here in Fairfax, are April 11th through the 13th. In advance of that, every magisterial district has their own budget town hall. Hunter Mill has 2, Franconia is planning 2, but it only has 1 scheduled. So Keith, Supervisor Lusk has his budget town hall right now on Tuesday, February 28th at 7 o'clock. The much nicer formatted version of that is in your emails, so that you don't have to read all the squiggly words there.
You see Drainsville in there?
Drainsville has 2 planned. So the McLean Citizens Association meeting, which is not Drainsville, but is part of it, is March 9th. And then the regular one is March 27th at 7 online. He is second to the end.
The MCA one,
The MCA one is March.
is that about McLean Community Center or is that Drainsville District?
So the McLean Community Center holds their own budget meeting to talk
Yeah.
about the county's budget.
Oh,
So
I
they
see.
have one, and then
Okay.
Faust's Drainsville one is on March 27th at 7 o'clock
Thank you so much.
online. Yes. So Fran, you had 2 questions. The first was maybe not a question, more of a comment about Phil's email regarding his recent feedback from the Pohick Friends. I did confirm with Brian, and I'll do an update about the county's storage for Friends at your March library board meeting. So I will talk about that. However, Friends are welcome as individual citizens or with their nonprofits to attend any public budget meeting that they want to talk about it. I don't think it will have a lot of impact because there is no space, right? It's not like the county warehouse staff and the folks at the Department of Material Management are saying no because they don't want to give anyone space. There just is no space. So they have been trying for 2 years now to lease additional space, to make additional space, to find any place to help out. And it has just been delay after delay, unfortunately. They had housed Friends materials for a while at the old Container Store in Tyson's that the county had leased out when everything was full up with COVID supplies, but then that lease waned. Then they leased a whole new facility to be retrofitted, and the Friends were going to go there before finding out that their main facility had to go through some fire updates and they were going to have to shift all of their regular stuff over to that location. So I am awaiting an update from our colleagues for your March board meeting. But in general, the Friends certainly could if they wanted to. I just don't know that they're going to have any, I don't know there will be any immediate impact from that. Not that that means they shouldn't do it, but.
And it's not out of line for us to inform them of that.
No, you all can share whatever you'd like with it. And hopefully some of the Friends groups are paying attention to the budget process as well as citizens within their local community. Yeah.
And so other trustees who are at this meeting, I hope that you are thinking about identifying and recruiting advocates to advocate for the library budget, and coming up. It's coming up. So I was at a book group meeting on Sunday and I recruited 3 more advocates. So if you have someone, their name and their email, send it to Bobby Connors and she'll put on the list. We have prepared, as you know, you've prepared the talking points to request money for the collection budget, and we are pretty soon gonna finalize the welcome letter, so we'll be ready to send those out to the people that we have recruited. And just to let Phil know that I did communicate to my contacts about the Marsden bill, and even though it didn't go anywhere, some people did communicate to him about it, so it worked. I mean, that was a difficult process, but at any rate, the more people we have speaking up for us, the better. So thank you.
Keith looks like he has, like his heart and mind is not clear.
I have one question about the Franconia District Budget Town Hall, and I feel like I should know the answer, but is that just virtual? Is that in person? And if it's in person, where is it?
Great question. So some of them are in person, some of them are virtual. Yours is being televised on both Channel 16 and streamed on live. So if you pull up the email I sent, like, I don't even remember where I sent it.
Yeah, I got it
Sometime
pulled
around
up.
one-ish.
I do.
There's a link to the county streaming service, so you can just hop online and watch it. Some district offices are still meeting in person. So Fran, Supervisor Gross, does have her budget meeting at her conference center at the Mason District office. And Sujatha, Supervisor Faust is having his at Madison High School. So some of them are in person, some of them are online. And Keith, I'm not sure if he is the second event that Supervisor Lux is planning to attend, if he's planning to do that online or in person.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
So were there anything else anybody wants to say outreach wise?
Can I ask you a question? If it says that it's going to be the budget town hall, does that mean it's streaming?
So most of them are. The
Mhm.
only ones right now that appear not to be are Mason and Drainsville. So your Providence Budget Town Hall is scheduled for Thursday, March 16th at 5:30. Supervisor Palchik is planning on televising it on Channel 16 and streaming it. I have not heard anything from board offices, but I would assume they're planning to archive them afterwards as well, just so you can watch if you can't do it live.
Thank you.
And do you see whether, I've honestly never spoken to I've never spoken at the budget hearings before. Is there like, if it's in person, can you sign up to say something, or is it just they're presenting and we're listening?
Usually,
When is the point that we get to do that? I'm sorry?
it's usually, I mean, pennies are always interactive.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
and
Okay.
it depends on the format, right? So the ones where it's in person, it's much easier to, you're there and you're talking. Some folks accept questions in advance, like Supervisor Smith during today's budget presentation invited the public to send her questions in advance of her town hall. Many board offices have that kind of generic email where you can just pop in suggestions or queries. And I assume they'll be collecting budget questions from
So
that.
it's not like you're signing up for a speaker spot, so it's not like you are.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not the same. So the speaker spots are what the public budget hearings, which are April 11th to 13th will be. And that's when Brian will be speaking on behalf of the library board. These magisterial based budget town halls are a little bit different. It's
Okay.
informational. So a lot of it is, most of these supervisors are going to have someone from county Department of Management and Budget speaking about the budget with them. Like, why has this been included? Why hasn't this been included? I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Tell me more about that.
Mhm.
Whereas the public budget hearings will be the community's opportunity to come back and say, like, tell me more about, I don't agree with that, or I really like that part. No one ever says I really like that part. It's more going to be, I don't agree with that, but remain hopeful.
This is turned into a budget committee meeting.
The transition.
It's all, it's all intersectional, Keith.
That's right.
We
My-
are
and my,
one.
ex- my experience at those meetings, at least at the Mason District ones, is that individuals very pointed almost attacks and depending on the atmosphere or depending on what's going on, but they're very much more personal than the big one at the government center, because it has to be so scripted. That's why, to me, like if friends went there and said, we give a lot of money And we get nothing, hello, help us. I don't know. I don't know that the supervisor's aware of this issue, just like a lot of other issues that they may not be because they're not at ground zero. But it's really face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's very, very helpful.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. Now, are we all of sound heart and mind?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay, then I move that we adjourn.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Nice to see you all.
Erin, don't leave yet.
Okay.